Welcome to the only comedy podcast on the internet. It's the Coffee Jelly Hour, episode 64. I'm Tony, and I'm joined by Ace and Seth. And Matt's not fucking here. We're preaching caffeine, motherfuckers. How are we doing today? Are we okay?
Caffeinated.
Fully caffeinated. So listen, first
I'm in the process.
Oh, that's okay. I'm caffeinated, but I feel tired. It's made me tired. That's really weird.
That's an oxymoron.
Indeed. I just want to briefly talk about podcasts. I'm always about like a week or two.
On this podcast?
A podcast within a podcast.
We don't talk about podcasts.
I'm not allowed to. Okay, moving on then.
No. Is this going to be Podception?
It is. You're not going to be quite sure which is the real podcast. No. All I was going to say.
Not before we talk about podcasts, but when did Inception replace the term Russian nesting blank? You know the formula where it's like Russian nesting dolls.
Russian nesting dolls.
That's a better analogy.
Now it's just replaced with Inception.
Ooh,
or
which is not what the term means within the movie.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think it's around the time Inception came out.
Oh
the
man,
movie
that
Inception.
movie ruined everything.
Well, it's kind of the sales of the those Russian dolls have really dropped, haven't they, since that movie came out as well? Which I know.
Sure.
The sales of tops have gone way up, though.
It's true.
Anyway, you gotta have a totem.
Anyway, all I was going to say was I'm always a couple of weeks behind listening to podcasts, and I've only just found out that Paul Mattingly has left Geek Shock, and
What?
I'm in shock. I was kind of like, I'm kind of like
You're
sad
in
about
Geek
it.
Shock.
Yeah, I'm in deep geek shock. Deep shock. Yeah. So I was kind of like a bit sad. I mean, I like Geek Shock. I like the other guys, but Paul kind of brought like real silliness to the whole thing.
So why did he leave?
Well, I guess I was listening to last week's or the week before, and they kind of just announce it at the beginning and just carry on. I was like, what? And he's basically just too busy with everything else. So he's decided something had to give.
Political differences it is.
Yeah. That's the one. He's been so busy, he's got to fuck us off, basically. Yeah, so I was kind of sad. I was a bit sad about that, really. So I was like, I can still listen to him on ICS.
It certainly is the end of an era, even though I haven't listened to Geek Shock in a while. When I saw that was announced, I was kind of like, that's actually kind of sad, because he's been with them for the better half of like 7 years now. Like he's been with them for 300 episodes or whatever, and it's just like, I mean, I like the other guys, but if I ever listen to an episode and Paul's not on it, I'm like, it's not going to be quite as mad and crazy, unfortunately. And now he's gone, and I was like, it's really sad about that. So, a bit of shit. So, bye, Paul. He's not dead. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm treating him like he's dead. But he will be. I think all of us will be someday.
Really? Do you think? You think?
You know why I really hate that movie Inception? I got to see that movie with a guy who basically, the entire movie, shh. If you talk during this part,
we're gonna miss something.
Really
we're gonna miss something. Just Google it later. It's fine if you miss anything.
Basically, I had to just endure about how Inception is the smartest, greatest movie ever made, and it made me actually hate the movie.
Oh,
which is
really?
sad because it's probably a really fascinating movie, but sitting there with like a guy who's just like, "Isn't this so cool? Did you know that they did this scene with practical effects?" And my response is like, I don't know.
Really? Yeah. I watched the movie. I thought, nah. It's okay. Another movie.
I mean, it is a visually fascinating movie.
Oh yeah.
The visualizations are great. My problem is, I hate to reference South Park like non-ironically, but Randy's wife with her point about how just because something's complicated doesn't make it good. It's exactly how I felt when I watched it. I was like,
that's true.
Like,
that's the thing about Christopher Nolan movies is they try to be
too clever,
thought-provoking, and they're not.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they try to be smarter than what they really are. Like, if you really start analyzing that last Batman movie, all it comes down to is that poor people really are animals, and if we are given power, we're gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Another movie.
It's the aesthetic of being smart, but it's not smart.
It's true. Well, another movie that I kind of watched, which loads of people were like, this is amazing, this is so deep, this is so good, was Arrival. I've just watched Arrival, and I was like, oh right, okay, is that it?
Now what is Arrival? Is that the one where
Aliens.
they talk via ink splotches or whatever?
Indeedy, yeah. It's basically like sort of when you put your coffee down and there's a coffee ring on the fucking table. That's what they're.
Or is that how they accidentally start a war? And then they accidentally leave a coffee ring?
I'll just put my coffee here, and it's like, we hate you, we are going to kill you. Yeah, so I kind of watched that movie, and I was like, nah. And then I posted about it on Facebook just to say, yeah, not as good as I thought it'd be, but it was okay. And then it started like loads of different people arguing, going, yeah, I felt the same about it, and someone else going, no, you're missing the point. The point is blah blah blah. I got that point, but it was kind of like just an okay movie. It was just like, oh yeah. So yeah,
I'm curious to see it.
It's don't get me wrong, it's good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be completely mind blowing. Where I was just like, yeah, that's kind of that makes me think, and it's interesting.
High concept sci-fi is kind of like that, though. It's very rarely as good as you want it to be. Like, it's more of that, like, I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's not like you never. Well, I mean, not never, but it's really, really rare you get like a Blade Runner out of it.
It's true.
Normally, you're sort of left with just a lot of like, well, I that idea is really fascinating. I mean, the movie was boring as piss, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea. I like if somebody wrote a book about that, I'd like it.
I'm just wondering if I just don't like sort of sci-fi movies, because I'm thinking I watched Interstellar and was it Gravity? It's like, yeah, they're all right. Yeah, it was one of them. It was like not as amazing as I thought they were going to be. So I don't know. Arrival's okay. It's okay. It's
I would join you right up there saying that, but then there's a lot of really great sci-fi, so it's just sort of kind of either toe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Lately, I question my validity in movies because I have a streak of pretentiousness, but then I also really liked that last Ninja Turtle movie. So what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, but you didn't like the new Ghostbusters movie, did you? That was the thing.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about Ghostbusters per se, but looking at the new screen caps for that It movie, it's making me really depressed.
Really? I haven't seen it a lot.
It looks so like looks so everything I've seen about it so far. It just looks like, isn't this scary? Isn't that a creepy image?
And
it's
you're
just
like
no. I don't know. I like that Pennywise the clown as a design sort of looks like a standard clown, and it was Tim Curry's performance that made it creepy. As opposed to this new kind of like, but isn't he so scary? And I've only seen a couple of screen caps, so I can't judge it. But everything I know about that movie makes me uncomfortable. Down to the fact that the original guy who was writing it got fired because he had a high concept movie about how the whole movie, because the book is an allegory for the loss of childhood, and he wanted to do the movie in that way, and they were like, you don't have enough Pennywise the clown.
Well, yeah. That sounds bad.
Get out of here.
Yeah, instead and apparently they hired like people who worked on a lot of the Insidious or Sinister or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The guy from Slipknot as the killer. Which one is that?
I don't know.
It's like Sinister or Insidious or Mr. Jangles or whatever.
Fuck knows. Is it Sinister? I don't know. I don't think I've seen Sinister.
Are they gonna Willy Wonka it where they make it about Pennywise?
That's probably what's gonna happen with that's what I'm afraid of, because that's how much they're really hyping up the existence of Pennywise, which again, in the book, he's sort of an undercurrent, and the whole thing has this. The whole vibe of the book is this whole childhood lost, and nostalgia isn't that great. It's kind of a really touching, incredible book, and it really gets to you. And then this new one just kind of seems like it's going to be a verbatim remake of the original movie, only with more edgier graphics and jump cuts.
We'll see.
Which is saying something, because that original movie isn't that fantastic. It's good. It's fun. The spider at the ending looks terrible.
Right, really? I haven't seen it. I've missed all this.
Spoilers.
Why have I missed all this? I don't know.
Wait, you haven't seen the original It film?
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you were saying there's stills from the new one.
No, they haven't.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you the spider game is going to be some CG monstrosity played by Andy Serkis.
Oh, yeah. Because he's got 8 legs.
Yeah, no, because he's good at legs. He's good at that kind of stuff.
Yes, he's good at that shit.
He played a monkey and Gollum.
It's true, he did.
I don't know why I'm hard on Andy Serkis. He's actually a really brilliant pantomimer. I'm not trying to give him shit, but I'm just sort of, I have a bad taste.
A pantomimer. As in, he's behind you.
I'm only bringing up the it thing. I bring up the it thing because it's suffering that same degree of Ghostbusters-itis, where people who have a dissenting opinion are now just like, well, you're a dumb fanboy. You don't get an opinion. You're just. It's like, why is this your defense?
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's sad.
The worst is apparently the Dark Tower movies getting that really bad, where it's like 20 reasons why racist fanboys don't want you to see the Dark Tower. It's like, shut the fuck up, BuzzFeed. Like, stop making, don't make every opinion that is against this movie about, like, because the big topic on hand is in the Gunslinger the book, and I haven't read the book, but he's described as looking like Clint Eastwood.
Right.
But in the movie, he's being played by Idris Elba,
which
is a black man, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But apparently, later on in the book, his race becomes a very important thing because he teams up with a black woman who's got like racial anxieties or whatever.
Oh, right.
Because she comes from the civil rights movement.
Right.
And so there's this giant thing that's apparently really relevant. And so a lot of people are saying, well, you're kind of ruining a really beautiful point about racism by making it black from the get-go.
Yeah. So,
to wit, the response is not, that's valid. Well, as somebody who read the book, don't worry, we have it. No, the response is, you're a racist who hates black people.
Oh, really?
Maybe they reverse the roles.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's a white... maybe. Probably not.
I haven't read it.
No.
Yeah, I haven't read it either, so I don't even know how important... It was made to seem like it was actually a very relevant point that comes up later on. Like, it was. Yeah, and I wish Matt was here because I know he's familiar with it, so
he has read it.
He might illuminate it a little bit better, because I'm intimidated by the Dark Tower. I love Stephen King, but I tried to read The Gunslinger once, it didn't work for me, and I just look at this stack of books, and I'm like, eventually. Like, when I get pneumonia, I'll start.
Yeah, that's the time. That's the time to start reading, when you can find to your bed. It'll be fine. You'll be okay.
They're fucking... Stephen King books are books that you could weaponize. Like, in a fight, you could kill somebody with a Stephen King book. And the problem is when you have a series of 8 books that are that size, you're just kind of like, I can wait.
It's true. I was going to say 2 other things I started watching this week. Broad City and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as well. That's both great series. It's like, why haven't I watched these before? It's fucking amazing. Have you seen Broad City? Broad City's cool.
Broad City, is that the one that's like Workaholics?
Yeah, it's but female. And just 2 of them. Yeah, it's great. I love Workaholics, so it's kind of that vibe. And then, have you seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? Because
I have not.
Fucking hell. I've only seen the first episode, and it's about a crazy ex-girlfriend, and I didn't realise it was a musical, but it's just great. It really is good. Watched the first episode, I was like, that's fucking genius. That is so sharp, fucking comedy, and it is great. There's one like sort of song and dance number about it's like the main female character getting ready to go out on a date with a guy, and it's like everything a woman's got to do to get ready, and it's just this big fucking process of nightmarish fucking plucking and shaving and all that shit, and it's just horrendous. And then partway through the song, she stops and she's like, "Hey, I wonder how long it takes for a guy to get ready." And then it cuts to her date, and he's just asleep on the couch, and it's like, oh yeah, class. That's life. that really is. It's true, but it's brilliant. So I'm kind of looking forward to Ace has gone really quiet because that was I was going to say it's 2 TV series about women as lead characters. Is that why You not like women?
Because they're not cartoons.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, really? The real people, yeah.
As far as programming goes over the past like 2 weeks is Bob's Burgers and Rick and Morty and Loud House.
Oh, class. Good.
Yeah, that's it. Like I can't even. I don't know. Even looking at like stills for like The Walking Dead, I go, that looks cheap.
Oh, Jesus. You know what? I so don't like The Walking Dead anymore. I just saw a trailer for wherever we're up to now, and I was like, fucking everything's just so... I don't know, the colours, everything's drab, the characters, just the actors themselves. I was like, I so don't care about any of these people. I just don't give a shit about any of them.
They've been making some weird fucking news articles lately about The Walking Dead.
Like what?
It's just like... Stay tuned tonight for a creep show reference, and the creep show reference is that there is a skeleton inside of a ticket booth. It's like why is that?
That's sad.
Why is that news?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get it. It's a cute little homage, but it's not like they found a crate.
Yeah,
it's not like there's a guy fucking spitting up beetles somewhere. No, it's just you made the poster artwork kinda in the background.
Oh, that's crap. They're just sort of grasping at straws, really, aren't they, for anything?
They've been just having these weird, like, real horror movie fans would appreciate this one.
Look at this.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're the shit. I
guess they're trying to beat the rush because obviously fans look for that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
They share it on the internet.
Yeah,
so
all these little Easter eggs.
Instead of waiting for the fans to find it, they're like, hey.
It's marketing, isn't it? I just saw a little bit of 24 Legacy. Have you seen it? It's fucking hell, it's shit. You know, the new 24? It's crap. It really is. It really looks shit. It was just happened to be on before. And I was like, let's just watch this. And it's like previously on 24. And it's like, oh, this looks really crap, actually. And I kind of watched about 10 minutes. I was like, wow. It's just like, I don't know. Really bad. I didn't mind the originals.
The only way I would be getting on that is if it had at least one animated preteen in it.
That'd be great. That would be good.
I think as weird as that sounds, that might be the only criteria to get me to watch a thing. I mean, Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, Loud House, fucking Gumball, they all have animated preteens.
Or kind of Roger Rabbit it up, really. They had these, like, comedy sort of cartoon characters in there. Should we, you know,
I would watch the fuck out of a show like 24 if it took place in like Toontown. If it was still an edgy,
totally Roger Rabbit.
That'd be good.
That'd be the best. I'd well watch that. That'd be so brilliant.
Yeah, like I would be all over a super gritty reboot. Not necessarily a reboot because reboot is a bad word these days, but. Like a super gritty sequel to Roger Rabbit. I mean, Roger Rabbit as a book is a really gritty book. It's much more film noir. It's much more edgy. It's darker. You know, Roger Rabbit actually dies. You know, it's who killed Roger Rabbit or who framed Roger Rabbit was the later Disneyfication. But like, I would love if they just went full.
Oh. There was a woman dressed up as Jessica Rabbit at the Comic-Con the other week, and I didn't get a photo of her. But you know, when I was like, I've got such a thing about It was just it got awkward. And now
I don't think Roger Rabbit actually checks my boxes though. Come to think of it, I don't think any of the characters are animated preteens.
No.
He's apparently like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, it's an old guy. Yeah, it's a grumpy old guy. Fucking yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why Jessica Rabbit never got me horny. Probably because she's not an actual rabbit and because she has tits.
Yeah, maybe. But she might have a
cock
though. She might have a cock.
Of Jessica Rabbit, she should be replaced by like a furry guy with a dad bod.
Just like a fat, sweaty rabbit.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
His name is Joe Rabbit.
Joe Rabbit and Roger Rabbit will now be a twink.
Yes.
And rather than working for an animated program, they'll work for a cartoon brothel. There we go. Yay. We got the gritty reboot going.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm drawing this now. Holy
this shit writes itself. Oh yeah. Get that drawn. Just take notes. Get that all sorted.
I'm gonna draw like perfectly rendered human beings in an overly cartoony brothel.
Jessica Rabbit, the fat, sweaty rabbit. The hairy, sweaty rabbit. Okay, I'm making notes for you. It's okay. Yeah.
It is
Tony, you've
perhaps...
never turned me on before, and it makes me uncomfortable.
The fat, hairy, sweaty rabbit.
Stop. I had to tell Ace to...
I found it now.
To cool it with me. When he says those terms.
It is the best homage to Bob Hopkins there could ever be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Bob Hoskins is Jessica
Mario
Rabbit.
while drinking.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. This shit writes itself. This is great. Fucking brilliant, right? Okay.
Why the hell didn't we pull up a Roger Rabbit fan? Oh, because they're probably terrible.
Well, that's...
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
I mean, they're probably very terrible. It's probably like Jessica Rabbit needed to put a diaper on Roger. Please don't put a diaper on me, Roger said in his quivering voice, but he really wanted it.
He was so hard. Talking about fan fiction...
Yeah.
Shall
we just dive into it?
Because fan fiction. Because Matt's not here this week. We're going to do something a little bit different. I've totally what the fuck are we doing? I forgot what we're doing.
Lilo and Stitch.
Jessica Rabbit diaper fetish.
Yeah, I fucking hell. Okay.
It ends with her breastfeeding Roger. It's quite weird.
I'm really excited for this one. I'm curious.
Okay.
I've only skimmed it.
Inferno. Experiment 666. Experiment 666 is designed to be an invincible fighting machine, but when he's separated from Jumba, he lands in... Oh, fuck. I knew I couldn't say it. Watsika?
Watsika? I think so.
I'll call it Watsika. Yeah, Illinois. Somewhere in Illinois.
Pronouns.
Meeting his best friend and his true love there in... Go on. Did you really Google that then?
I'm about to say. What's it? How do you spell it?
Watseka.
Pronounce.
Well, how do you spell pronounce?
It's loading.
Go on. I can't believe
It's loading?
Yeah.
You got dial-up still, or what?
Watseka.
In Watseka, 666 will have to...
Oh, there's even a version of it done in a British accent on this website.
Go on. How does it sound like?
It's, hold on.
You got to do the impression.
Watseka.
Cool, blimey,
yeah, exactly. There are three pronunciations on it.
Watseka. I will go Watseka.
The third one is the British one, and that's...
Well, I mean, what's the one that you didn't...
Oh, the first one is a man going, Watseka.
Chinese.
And the second one is a woman going, Watseka.
It's a Chinese accent, the first one.
Watseka.
Watseka? In
Tony.
In Watseka.
Live from Watseka. I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good, actually. In Watseka, I'll call it Watseka, 666 will have to fight Hamsterviel. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hamsterviel. Hamster.
Be like a compound between hamster and evil.
Hamster. Oh, right. Hamsterviel.
However, many characters call him Hamster Wheel, which causes quite hilarity in that show, because Lilo and Stitch is a show that checks my boxes.
What?
Don't you remember there was an animated program for it?
Yes,
I actually watched quite a bit of it. I think my favorite episode by far.
I drew a bit of porn of it.
Really?
My favorite episode by far is they had a reunion of the entire cast of Kids in the Hall.
What?
Yeah, the entire cast, they played Pleakley's family in that episode where he was going to get married. And the entire family was played by the rest of Kids in the Hall, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I was too young to appreciate that.
Oh, God, I was, because as a kid, I grew up watching Comedy Central and Kids in the Hall and junk, so I was just the right age when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's Scott Thompson! Oh, that's Mark McKinney! And the rest!
Well, aren't you a cultured little shit?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Watseka, Illinois, Thursday, August 28th, 2008.
I'm pretty sure that's pronounced
Class
Illinois.
of high school physical education students was outside on the football field playing. Out of nowhere, a small blue ball...
Sorry, bam. Sorry.
Yeah, well done. A small blue... we miss you, man. A small blue ball lands next to one of them. The student notices
She
it,
didn't die in that car accident.
picks it up, and puts it in his pocket. Later, and back inside the school, the young man inspects his find. On the top hemisphere, written in large bold type, with the digits 666. He has no idea what he's found and decides...
I don't know how you resisted going full Bruce Dickinson on that one. And just 666, the number of the beast.
I was tempted, and decides to investigate it further when he gets home. After 6 more hours of waiting, they should have done 5 more hours. You don't say another 6 there, do you? Of waiting, the school day ends when the young man gets home.
At 6.
When he gets home at 6, he sees his father
At 6:66 p.m.
6 minutes past 6. A few hours later, he takes the ball outside, where he knows that there's a lot of free open space. Probably about 6 acres. Thinking it's just a numbered bouncy ball, he bounces it right into a puddle of water. A bright yellow halo surrounds it. Then,
As you do with bouncy balls.
Yeah, it is replaced by a creature. The creature had midnight black fur, was about half as tall, black, evil, as tall as he was, and had a pissed off look on its face. He thought it was a dog until it said, in perfect English,
"Who are you?"
Oh my god. I'm Earl Jones.
The young man said, before asking the creature,
Who are you?
Well, I'm Experiment 666.
Oh, he's back. The creature responded. Earl then plainly stated,
Experiment 666 just ain't gonna cut it round here. I'll call you Inferno.
Obviously. Yeah. Experiment 666, now named Inferno, was confused. Earl had just told him that his number wouldn't be good enough to go by in this place. When he inquired about it, Earl simply told him that everyone around here had a name, and those who didn't were regarded as fucking freaks. Inferno told him that he didn't want to be called...
no-name piece of shit.
Yeah. Inferno told him that he didn't want to be called a fucking freak, and thanked
Little
Earl
faggots.
for the name. He told Earl that he felt the name fit him well. Later, Earl took Inferno on a tour of the city of Watsaka. The small black genetic experiment thought the small town... How does he know it's a genetic experiment? Thought the small town was boring. When he voiced his feelings, Earl simply said,
This is what I've lived with for the past 12 years.
Inferno responded to that with,
12 years?
Yup.
said Earl. Inferno inquired of Earl.
This is the quickest this story has gone off the rails for me.
Like,
I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like,
yeah.
hey, you're my best friend. I love you too, friend.
Should we get wrecked together?
Pops Blue Ribbon. That's how we say family, and family always sticks together. What the fuck do you guys do around here?
With pride in his voice, Earl replied,
We get fucked up every chance we get.
oh shit. Curious, I was right.
Oh, the origin story.
Yeah, this is
of
Eric. Eric is
When
back.
I was skimming through this, I thought it was the reverse. I thought Inferno was like, let's get fucked up.
No, yeah.
I just woke up. I was just bored, but I need some weed. I need some moonshine.
Curious as
But
to
no,
what
I like this too.
Yeah, it's good. Either way, it's good, actually. Curious as to what this meant, Inferno asked.
What is this fucked up?
Fucked up is the local vernacular slang term for getting drunk. It's also used to refer to getting high on illegal drugs.
Earl replied. Inferno couldn't help himself anymore, and he inquired of Earl.
Do you have anything at your home that will get us fucked up?
I've got some alcohol in my fridge.
Earl replied.
Well,
Inferno began.
do you want to get fucked up right now? This is kind of Wow, this is the quickest
I know, this is a good story.
Straight into it. Usually it's about 10 chapters.
I'm rather placated. I can't believe Matt's missing the return of Eric.
I know. Oh, he's going to be so jealous. He's going to be so...
Or I'm sorry, Eric rises, we should say.
Eric
rises.
Eric rises from the ashes.
No.
Replied Earl.
I've got school tomorrow. Back to that cursed place where I found your ball today.
Confused as to what he meant, Inferno asked Earl.
My ball?
The ball you magically appeared from earlier.
Earl replied.
I think it's time you learn what I really am.
Inferno said. Earl was confused, and he listened. As he listened, Inferno explained to him that he was really an alien genetic experiment. He explained that he was bulletproof, fireproof, and could think way faster than anyone else. He said that his mind worked faster than a computer, and that he could do the most advanced calculus problem in about 5 seconds. He explained that he could see in the dark and lift objects 40,000 times his own size. 40,000 times. His only weakness, he said, was that he could not swim due to his large molecular density. After Inferno's lengthy explanation, Earl remarked,
"Wow, you're the coolest thing I've ever heard of."
Apart from the not being able to swim part. Inferno, impressed with Earl's comment, remarked,
I've got no use for my destructive nature. I've got a new friend in you.
and then I've got a friend in you kicks in. Then need this song, doesn't it? Soon the duo returned to Earl's house. They sat down in front of the television and watched the Weather Channel for 3 hours. Are they stoned already? Then they got to work on Earl's chemistry homework. With Inferno's help, Earl finished his chemistry and algebra homework in about 12 seconds. After they finished, they watched more television, Weather Channel, until it was time for bed. The duo had a long day to prepare for, so they went to bed.
Do you think Watatacha doesn't have cartoons, and so the kids just watch the Weather Channel?
Weather Channel.
Like
look at that cloud.
No internet.
The cloud looks like faces and characters and stuff.
There's no games. They just have to play on a calculator and watch the Weather Channel.
Oh, maybe it really is the sort of backwards. Should we read the author's note, or should we just go on?
I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, yeah. Let's just go. Let's go on. Fuck the author's note. Let's go to first day in Wuchitaka.
Sorry, that was I didn't say chapter 1. That wasn't it? Activation. Chapter 2. First day in what? How did you pronounce it then?
Watsika.
Earl's house. Friday, August 29th, 2008.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you. At 6 o'clock the next... I know, I was waiting for you then, sir. 6 o'clock the next morning, Earl woke up to find that his father was home and had already met Inferno. He greeted his father and Inferno, who both acknowledged his presence. Do you reckon he got fucked up with his dad?
Like, oh, hey, what's your name? You're just a little
you look normal.
monster.
You fucking freak. The three then began discussing their plan. He had a normal name, so it was fine. The three then began discussing their plans for the day. Earl's father was not pissed off at him like he thought he would be when he found out about Inferno. In fact, the elder human thought Inferno was pretty cool. After breakfast, Earl left for school, while Inferno stayed there and surfed the web. His first stop was a website of the National Weather Service's Chicago Forest Office.
Because he didn't get all of his fill from the Weather Channel.
He hasn't discovered porn yet. He's just like fucking wanks off to clouds. After reading 65 web pages there, he went to the next website Earl had shown him, that of the National Hurricane Center. 3 minutes later, he'd memorized the entire website. He then curled up at the foot of Earl's bed and fell asleep. At Watsika High School. Thank you. From the moment Earl walked in the door, he knew that he would be bored out of his mind. As he was walking to his locker, he turned his cell phone off. When he opened his locker, he gently placed his cell phone.
He's bored.
Yeah, play games. His cell phone on the top shelf. Then he bent down, grabbed his textbook and his notebook for English. Fucking hell, you know what? English 4. 4?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
What the fuck is English 4? English No.
A sequel to English
Well,
3.
it's for communicating.
After
with.
English 3 before 5. His first class of the day. He then shut his locker and walked to the class, right across the hall. Once inside the room, one of his classmates says to him,
What's on the street is that you found... Word on the street is that you found an alien during gym class yesterday.
Earl looked at him.
Don't know who told.
I know who the
His
fuck.
dad probably. His dad is friends with his friends.
Do you think it was on the Weather Channel? Earl looked at him and replied,
It's true. Although I must ask where you heard that.
we're going to find out.
My younger brother was out with some of his friends last night and saw the two of you hanging out at town center's choir.
His classmate
Wow,
said,
everyone really does get fucked up.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Earl said. Then at 8:13, the teacher walked in and the class began. 8:13.
Ah, she's late.
I know. Bitch. She fucked up last night. Earl thought the teacher's monotone ramblings would put him to sleep within the first 2 minutes of the class, but he stayed awake for the entire period. At 9:03, the bell rang and Earl went back to his locker. When he got there, he placed his books back. Then he walked to the gym for his next class. Back at Earl's house,
Bum, bum.
half an hour later,
Dun dun.
for the most part,
Sorry.
things were pretty quiet.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Things were... Come back, man. Quiet during the previous half hour. At around 9:30, Inferno woke up from his nap and resumed surfing the internet. He didn't understand some of the monotone political ramblings on the CNN website, so he logged off it. Later, he found his way back to the National Weather Service website, memorizing the entire thing in roughly 4 seconds. He likes weather. Watsika High School, third period. After an incredibly boring gym class, Earl walked to his locker to get his book and notes for his algebra class. Walking into the room, the first thing he saw was his teacher handing out some papers. He took one and read it. The fears that he had expressed to Inferno early that morning were confirmed. His teacher was giving the class a quiz. Remembering what Inferno had taught him the night before, he did it in about 10 seconds. What did he teach him? He carefully completed each of the 17 problems on the quiz before handing it back to his teacher. He then sat back down in his seat and read his notes. He discovered that he might have missed 1 or 2 points on the first problem because he dropped a negative sign. He thought to himself,
This teacher would be a total retard if it failed me for one stupid little negative sign.
The teacher then began the lecture over the real number system. He explained what real numbers were. Then he began to explain the different types of them. There are natural numbers, whole numbers, integers,
Okay.
rational numbers, and irrational numbers. Fucking hell! Guess what? The writer of this
This better
is
be
gonna
important
do
to the
recently.
story.
I know. Oh, of course it will be. Then, where are we? Fucking hell. Then, as explained, there is a second type of numbers called the complex numbers, which includes imaginary numbers and real numbers. After 15 or 20 minutes of sitting through this, the bell rang. Fourth period.
Dun dun.
After having sat there in room 146, bored out of his mind, Earl walked back to his locker.
Is that an imaginary number or a rational number?
The first one is actually a rational number. 4 is one of the complex numbers. 6, I don't fucking know. Earl walked back to his locker, dropping off his algebra stuff and grabbing his Spanish stuff. Walking into the room at roughly 11:01, he sat down and waited for his instructor to begin the lecture. The teacher, a 30-something blonde woman, began the class by saying, "Hola." Oh, fucking hell. Como esta? Is that it?
Como está?
Okay, yeah, I don't really do Spanish. The entire class responded in unison with,
Bien,
Bien, Watu.
Watu.
I don't know how you do
who's it? Yeah. Who's the yeah.
Estoy bien.
She replied. She began the lecture, which lasted
I
for
hope this isn't gonna continue.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's an entire chapter in Spanish. She then began the lecture, which lasted another 45 minutes. Then the bell rang. Earl went back to his locker to grab a few books before heading off to study hall. Back at Earl's house.
Bum bum.
Inferno sat in front of Earl's computer, confused. Oh, he's found pornography. He had just memorised all of the websites that Earl had shown him the night before, and now he had absolutely nothing to do. A few minutes later, he decided just to go back to the National Hurricane Center website. Jesus! In the hopes,
favorite so far.
Yeah, he loves that site. In the hopes of finding some satellite images to look at. It is like his porn. He finds the link to the images and looks for a currently active storm. He could choose from several different ones, so he clicked on the link called Gustav. The storm looked rather unimpressive to him, as it was only a tropical storm at this time. He read the forecast, which called for Gustav to become a Category 2 hurricane. Of course, being new to this kind of thing, he had absolutely no idea what that meant. I thought he'd read everything. After 5 more minutes of research, he logged off and flipped on the television. By this point, he was bored out of his mind, and so he went outside to mess around for a while. After 25 minutes of this, he went back inside. Fucking hell, have you noticed? It's like after 25 minutes, after 10 minutes, after... Yeah, fucking hell. Falling asleep in the middle of the dining room floor. After realising this... After what he fell asleep, he got up and got into Earl's bed, falling sound asleep at its foot, just as he had done a few hours earlier.
So basically he didn't really do anything.
No, he was just fucking bored, really. That was like a sort of like a montage, wasn't it, of just wandering around, not knowing what to do, and kind of thing. Watsika High School, 6th and 7th periods. Back at the high school, Earl was standing at his locker getting his shit together for 6th period. It was, by far, Earl's least favourite class of the day, chemistry. After grabbing his books and notes, he began to walk up the stairs towards his class. He shuddered to think what Mr. Davidson had in store for him that day. When he arrived at the door to room 213, do you reckon these are the rooms of the kid who's wrote this? The actual classroom numbers? Because they're quite specific, aren't they?
You know what shouldn't irk me so much, but it is getting to me, is all of this information not only can be condensed, but it feels like there should be more. In a weird way,
Yeah.
like it feels like we should be meeting other characters. Like he should sit down, and that girl that always chews her hair is sitting next to him. She's like, "Hi," he's like, "I've got an alien." She's like, "You're a freak," and everybody laughs at him. And so
fucking freak.
It's a good time to establish characters.
Yeah.
You know, we can meet his.
There's no one else.
Freak doesn't have a name.
Yeah, fucking freak.
We can meet his friend, you know, the black kid that goes to school, who's his one friend, and who's like, "Don't worry, I believe you." It feels like we're just not getting enough information.
You're building a good story.
Go on about how Inferno's gonna watch
straightforward, useless shit.
He was shocked to find the room as quiet as could be. Sees no one there. His teacher, handed him paper with some chemistry formulas on it. Then he told him to sit down. The lecture he endured over the next 35 minutes was the most boring thing he had ever heard in his life. Then it dawned on him. He had to endure another 9 months of this. During the lecture, Mr. Davidson had managed to put Earl to sleep 14 or 15 times. This was nothing new, as the class was, as Earl had told Inferno the night before, really fucking boring. After it was all over, Earl woke up when the bell rang for 7th period. After leaving chemistry, Earl walked back to his locker to grab his things for 7th period. This class, which was Earl's favourite, was web page design. After grabbing, you know what type of web page is going to design? Weather web page. But it's going to be different than all the other weather web pages. After grabbing his things, he only had to walk a few feet to reach the door to room 153. When he entered the room, he instinctively went to a computer, logged in, and almost without a second thought entered the National Hurricane Center's website into the computer.
Why? It feels like we should have more like you know in Coraline how it's established that she's kind of weird from the get-go. Or in any fiction, these quirks are established. You start off with like him catching bugs, and then we learn that he's got this obsession with bug catching. Like maybe if we had started off with him being like, "Gee, I want to be a weatherman.
Yeah.
I will grow up someday.
It's true.
I will follow the clouds and I will see it rain and tell the people of my town one day it'll rain." But you know, establishment. We just have like, hey, who are you? Oh, I'm Inferno. That's cool. Wanna go get fucked up? Yeah. Well, we can't get fucked up. I gotta go to school.
I'm sorry, the first chapter was so promising.
I know, it's hilarious.
What the fuck is going on? This looks like a mundane description of his own fucking, like, I'm gonna look at the Weather Channel. Like, who the fuck? What? Is this like some high-functioning autist who's writing this?
When the homepage showed up, he discovered that a new tropical depression had formed.
I wonder if Inferno's seen this yet. He has.
Yeah, we know he has. He thought to himself. At 2:13, the teacher walked into the room. Fucking hell. At 2:13 and 27 seconds, the teacher walked into the room, beginning the lecture on some really basic HTML code. During the lecture, she discussed what HTML tags were and how they worked to create a new website. After 20 minutes of discussion...
It's the first class?
I know, yeah. She set the students loose to practice with the tags they had just learned. 15 minutes later, the final bell rang. Neil left the room. He went to his locker, grabbed his phone and school books, and left the campus. The trip home. Earl had walked the streets of Watsaka's southeast side for a few minutes, zigzagging through the maze of streets that led him from the school to his house. At this point, he was about 2 blocks from his house. He'd lit a cigarette, smoking it as he walked. Wow, he's so cool. As he approached the house, he put out the almost finished cigarette. He could have walked slower and finished the cigarette. Earl's house, 5 minutes later.
Bam.
As he walked in the door, his father greeted him, asking him how his day was. He told his father that the day was rather boring, and then he went into his bedroom.
That was substance.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, like, all of that, everything before that could have been removed. Everything.
Yeah,
It could have just been like, he went to school, and when getting home, his father gently embraced him and sniffed his hair. Smelled just like your mother. Oh, I miss her so much. He began to stroke his son's back as his son nervously quivered in his arm. Daddy, we can't. Inferno's on the couch. Inferno's asleep. I gave him the rest of that sleeping tonic. It's just you and me, boy. I'm gonna call you Mary Ann. That was your mama's name.
Wear
this
dress.
You still call me Dad.
Daddy. Placing his bag on the floor outside his bedroom door, he gently opened the door, careful not to wake Inferno if he was napping. Looking inside, he saw Inferno curled up at the foot of his bed. Instantly, he grabbed his phone, taking pictures of the cute scene that laid out before him. After taking the picture, he gently shook Inferno, waking him.
He said he didn't want to wake him up.
I know, yeah. And then, I'm going to gently shake you. Inferno looked up and seeing Earl said...
Hey, dude. How was your day?
Ugh.
Earl replied.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it sucked big time. What happened
Earl
to my
said.
accent?
You've had a boring day. That's what's happened. A few more minutes back and forth between the two friends ensued, ending with Earl's father calling the two for dinner. After eating, Earl and Inferno went back into Earl's bedroom to begin their work on Earl's chemistry homework. 5 minutes later.
Just 5 minutes into the homework.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just, like, Lilo and Stitch is honestly one of my favorite movies ever made. And I just couldn't imagine how much better it would be made if, like, Stitch had no conflict whatsoever. And it was just like, right when she walks into the dog store, he's like, hey, Lilo, I want to be your friend. We will do a lot of things and solve problems together.
I'll help you.
When we first watched the Weather Channel.
I'm expecting there to be... I'm looking down. There's more stuff about weather. I'm expecting there to be like a hurricane eventually or something.
Yeah, and it's going to rip the house apart and Inferno will save them. Earl sat down in the centre of his bed, spreading out his chemistry stuff. He really did not want to be doing this stuff.
Oh, that's what I call it too.
You wanted me to spread my chemistry stuff.
Spread my chemistry stuff, are you?
Spread my chemistry stuff. I'm going to spread my chemistry stuff all over your face. He really did not want to be doing this stuff, But Inferno told him that it is. But Inferno told them that if they worked together, they would have it done in no time. So the two of them, this is sex shit, isn't it? So the two of them sat down and balanced through the most complicated chemical equations you could ever imagine.
Oral,
in about half
anal, and I don't know what the third one could be.
Something with an alien.
Ever imagined in about half an hour. They finished the rest of the assignment in about another 20 minutes. Then Inferno decided that they should take a break before moving on to Earl's algebra homework.
Oh, what could that be?
What could that mean? Yeah, I don't know.
Numerators and hypothetical numbers and such.
During this time, Earl logged on to the National Hurricane Center website, showing Inferno the new tropical depression that he'd discovered earlier in the day. He asked Inferno if he'd seen it yet, to which the alien said no. Inferno read all
He's been
four...
looking at the website all fucking day.
He was on it earlier.
Memorized everything.
He did memorize everything. That's weird, isn't it? Inferno read all 4 advisory texts in about 5 seconds. He then decided that he wanted to work on algebra, so Earl logged off the computer. 2 hours later... I'm not moving on. Thank you. Sitting back down in the center of his bed, Earl opened his algebra book. Yes, he opened it wide, flipping to the correct page in the process. He then pulled out 2 pencils and his notebook, tearing out 3 sheets for Inferno to sit and do the problems for himself. He's going to play with himself. He then began to write, finishing the first 10 problems in 5 minutes. He looked up from his work to see that Inferno had the entire assignment done. He found Inferno on the computer, tracking the new tropical depression. 10 minutes later, Earl was finished with his homework, so he joined Inferno at the computer. After about 15 or 20 minutes of looking at different tropical cyclones online, the 2 friends flipped on the television. Since it was Friday night, there wasn't anything particularly interesting to watch, so Earl flipped on CNN. The 2 watched this for 3 to 4 hours. During which time Earl's father came in, announcing that he was going to bed. After giving him a hug goodnight, Earl returned to his bed, continuing to watch TV. 5 hours later, both Earl and Inferno got tired and went to sleep.
Nothing happened. Don't worry, the next chapter is a time jump. It's the 5th day in Watseka.
Are we going to hit that one? Should we hit that?
Should we? There's a lot more dialogue.
There's a lot there. I think, should we end it? And then if Matt's not here next week, we get back on this one. And if he is, we get back on the other one.
Yeah, we can just default to this when one of us isn't here.
That's cool. I'm liking this. So who is this? So let's see who the author is. Oh, fucking hell. Right, don't look, but how old do you think the author is? How old?
30.
Oh, really? Yeah, I would say about 14, but he's 25. He lives in Bradley.
Oh my God! What?
He lives in Bradley, Illinois, and guess where he's from? In Illinois. He's originally from Watseka. Yeah.
I feel really bad. It's just I looked at his profile too, and it's like. I like Lilo and Stitch, CSI, and studying hurricanes. It's just oh man.
He's
He doesn't like little kids shows like PBS Kids and Playhouse.
Oh my God.
Really, you're 25 years old and you don't like shows for toddlers?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That was good. That was actually a good one. That
he's got his.
I kind of enjoyed it.
He's got his class schedule.
Has he? Well, we know where he goes to, and I reckon those room numbers for all his classes are the room numbers from there as well. That's mad. It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
He writes about his own town. He has CSI Watseka season 1. Like.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, that's so bad.
That's another fan fiction to do, isn't it?
I feel so unclean.
Yeah, he made up. He knew he was reading this.
Oh yeah, but I didn't realize that. Like, I don't know. I just imagine this is the kind of guy who like.
Oh, this is also Lilo and Stitch. CSI Watseka. Yes.
Oh, is it?
CSI Watseka, Lilo. Like he's the kind of guy you would go out with him and you guys would sit down and about 3 minutes into like ordering, he'd be like, I like storms. You'd be like, oh, cool.
I'm a
storm
chaser.
And he just starts telling you like in great detail about.
See that cloud outside?
Like, oh.
See that cloud?
But only how it relates to Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah. That's right.
But the Lilo and Stitch comes later when the food comes, and then he's like, I also like Lilo and Stitch, and I've been writing a fan fiction of it. Would you like to see it? And it's like, no,
not
okay.
really.
And then he pulls out his fucking his little tablet device and like, here, read it. Tell me what you think.
This might be bad, but do you think he's like, I don't know, special needs? Do
I know? Yes, or just I don't know. I don't even know.
I feel a bit bad now.
Because he writes like well, but not well. Like he's a terrible writer, but his punctuation is on point. So I'm like, what the fuck?
But
like who does that? Who writes like well spelling and punctuation? But then they're just like, after 5 minutes he walks outside.
Yeah.
After 5 more minutes he walks back inside. After 5 more minutes he turns on the TV and watches CNN for 33 minutes. But 33 minutes later he goes and lays down in bed and takes a nap. Then afterwards he's like, holy shit! What is the matter with you?
But in his favour,
Hot water burn baby. Hot water burn baby.
In his favour, though, we got straight into the fan fiction quickly, didn't we? You know what I mean? We got straight into the story. Everything was happening. It was good.
Yeah, it moved very fast, and then it moved very slow.
Bit too quick. Oh yeah, and then it kind of stopped, didn't it? Really? And it was
Yeah. When are we gonna get? When are we gonna get to the fireworks store?
Oh, it was fun. It was fun anyway. So we'll have more of Summit next week anyway. So listen, I'm going to use the healing power of my beard and remind you all that if it looks like magic, it is not magic. It is science or worse. So deal with it. And I am not a motherfucking kid. See you all next week. Everybody, say goodbye. Bye, everybody.
I completely forgot where the I am not a motherfucking kid part came from. Was that from our last one?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Was it
that woman, wasn't it? That girl? Woman? Yeah. Sorry, she wasn't a kid. It wasn't a kid. She was She was not a motherfucking kid. Yeah, I can't remember what the fucking fan fiction was, but it said that in the author's note, didn't it? The author.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
It was from the last one. I couldn't remember for the life of me where that one came from. I have a pretty solid memory of the other ones. I don't remember the healing power of the beard. Also, oh no, it was Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
That was the Chuck Norris when the Gumball multiverse or fucking what? I can't believe we read that entire fucking story. It feels like a bad fever fucking dream. But I was trying to recall where each of your things came from.
Oh yeah.
And the one that I couldn't was.
Yeah. So it was the woman. Yeah. We'll have to put something about storm chasing in there as well. Maybe, I don't know.
No, we need one thing.
We don't. We need thousands of things. I'm bringing Token back next week just for that. So.
No.
Fuck you. Anyway, say goodbye. We're going.
Bye.
Bye. See you all next week.